They serve to protect their respective communities, but behind the badge, you might notice there are not too many women doing it. In fact, the number of women in law enforcement across the United States is pretty low, only 12%, and only 3% hold leadership positions. Stephen Cavazos now with a woman who is changing the stats and becoming a trailblazer.
When problems exist in communities, we aim to find solutions. Sometimes the fix is easy, and other times, there are limitations. Take law enforcement. It's a global industry dominated by men. According to this 2021 study, 72.2% of men were law enforcement employees, and about 86.7% served as an officer. However, here in San Antonio, the woman behind this badge is breaking those barriers.
How did I go from a little old sergeant from the sheriff's office to working in this capacity? My name is Constable Catherine Brown, Bexar County Constable of Precinct 4.
With 23 years in law enforcement, Brown is at the top of her game. In November 2020, she was elected as the first African-American woman to a constable's office in Bexar County. She takes great pride in her role, but it's rarely held by women.
We have to prove our strength constantly. And it didn't take me a long time because I'm a straight shooter. You know, I've always had the respect of my comrades because I am a straight shooter. What you see is what you get. There's no sugarcoating it, and I play fair.
There was a time when life didn't play fair with Brown. She's dealt with breast and ovarian cancer. It's a battle she says changed her life and her purpose.
I thought to myself, you know what, if I'm still here, I've got to serve a purpose and I've got to pay something forward. I never thought that I could utilize this platform for that, but it's working really, really good.
In late October, Brown held her third annual breast cancer awareness event, where survivors are celebrated and lost loved ones are remembered. 3 years into her role, Brown continues to have her hand and heart in the community. Just some of Brown's accomplishments include a Thanksgiving community dinner, a community food pantry, and an annual toy drive. And there to help spread that message is therapy dog Biggie. He was gifted to her office from Florida-based company K9 for Warriors. Brown believes her greatest responsibility is to show other women they deserve a seat at the table.
I'm here. It took me a while to get here, but I'm here. You know, and if I do it, you sure as heck can do it.
Law enforcement may be male-dominated, but women like Brown are hoping to change that statistic. She's hired the most women in the history of Precinct 4's office. However, disparities still exist. Other organizations like 30 by 30 are working to increase the representation of women in police recruit classes by 2030. And some research shows female officers use less force, are named in fewer complaints and lawsuits, and are perceived by communities as being more honest and compassionate.
That was Stephen Cavazos. You can scan this QR code on your screen and tell us what issues you want us to address or what creative solutions you've come up with. You can subscribe to Solutionaries channel on Facebook to catch all of our coverage. The New York Times is suing OpenAI and Microsoft. They're calling it copyright infringement. The Times is claiming that both companies used artificial intelligence technology in order to illegally copy millions of the news organization's articles, which then trained ChatGPT. As a result, the Times alleges the technology is now competing with their own company. According to the complaint, the Times claims it first discovered its work was being used to train ChatGPT months ago, and ever since it's been trying to receive compensation for it. Here's an important consumer alert that might have you checking your freezer. Frozen fish fillets that were sold at Whole Foods Market being recalled due to an undeclared soy allergen. The recall applies to the 365 Whole Foods Market beer battered pollock and cod fillets. These fillets were sold nationwide between September 8th and December 22nd. The company says it has not received any reports of illnesses, but anyone who has an allergy or severe sensitivity to soy runs the risk of having a serious allergic reaction. After the break, if you're thinking about buying a new home in 2024, your timing may be excellent. Why next year could be the best chance for first-time home buyers to get into the housing market. Get ready. The Fed appears to be ready to drop interest rates next year, and that could take some would-be home buyers from the sidelines into the housing market. Cole Higgins with what to expect and why colder weather could actually save you money at closing.
After years of record prices, historically high mortgage rates, and massive market demand, some experts say sidelined first-time homebuyers could have more hope in 2024.
It's going to get cheaper going forward, but I'm not going to call it easy or less painful.
Economist Joe Brusuela says the Federal Reserve is poised to lower interest rates next year, which could make homes more affordable. According to the U.S. National Home Price Index released this week, house prices hit a new record high in October. That's when mortgage rates were above 7%, the highest levels in 23 years. That plus historically low inventory continued to push up home prices. So what can you do if you're looking to buy in 2024?
When you get back in the market, houses are going to come in. When there's a lot of demand, they're going to go fast. Somebody else is going to be ready to move. You want that person to be you.
Real estate investor David Green has these 4 tips. 1, improve your financial position to increase your chances of getting a better loan, like paying off debt, saving more money, and improving your credit. 2, step up your market research. Get realistic and consider what you can actually afford and what your priorities are.
You can change everything about a house except where it's located. So really prioritize the houses in the areas that work the best for you, not the houses that look the best.
3, once you get your loan approved, get your loan officer and your realtor working together. And finally, consider waiting until winter time. That's when home sales traditionally slow down, so there will be less competition. For Consumer Watch, I'm Cole Higgins.
Certainly doesn't feel like wintertime out there. Well, I guess later on tonight, the temperature's really going to plummet.
Yeah, we're going to get down into the 40s and eventually into the 30s by the start of the morning. So it will feel very cold by tomorrow morning. Now, hey, we have not really seen all that much rain this year. In fact, take a look over the last 10 years. We've had more rain than last year, but we're still in a rainfall deficit this year by about a foot. So that's 2 years in a row here where we have had drier than average conditions. So following that pattern, we're going to have cold mornings and comfortable afternoons for the rest of the year, and it'll stay dry for the rest of the year as well. But we'll have a cool front to ring in 2024. How could that affect your firework displays? Details coming up.
So what kind of temperature swings are we going to have this week? Right now, it's looking, 30 degrees?
That's exactly right, Ursula. We're going to have about 30-degree temperature swings every single day. That means you got to dress in layers. It's that time of year here in San Antonio where you have the jacket in the morning, you don't really need it in the afternoon. But hey, today was one of those days. Take a look at the high temperature for the day today. We got up to 68 degrees. That was after a morning low of 38. That's that 30-degree temperature swing. Believe it or not, a cool front moved through today, and that will actually make us cooler for the rest of the week. This was a look at today's highs. The rest of the week, we're going to have highs cooler than this. It got up to 70 in New Braunfels, got up to 71 in Hondo, 69 in Del Rio, 72 in Cotulla and Laredo, got up to 62 in Kerrville. By tomorrow morning, though, it is going to be cold. Take a look at these morning lows early tomorrow. 33 in Kerrville. I think just about all of us will stay above freezing, but still cold start to the day. 35 in Hondo, 37 in Del Rio, 37 in Beeville, 35 in Gonzales. It'll be 36 in New Braunfels. Those morning lows are going to be even colder Friday and Saturday morning. We'll be close to freezing in San Antonio. I think we'll be just at freezing in the hill country, so just be aware of those potted plants if you live north of San Antonio. Otherwise, this is just your run-of-the-mill light freeze early in the morning hours. Take a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast tomorrow. You'll notice that winds will be a little breezy from the north at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. That's going to bring in that cedar, that mountain cedar, so take that allergy medicine. It's going to be, mountain cedar is likely going to be high again tomorrow. 58 at noon and plenty sunny, 62 for the afternoon high temperature, and then a cold evening on deck for us tomorrow evening as well. Here's highs in your neighborhood: 60 in Kerrville, 59 in Rock Springs, 62 in New Braunfels, 62 in San Antonio. So temperatures will be about 5 degrees cooler tomorrow than they were today. It'll be 66 in Cotulla and 64 in Beeville. As we take a look at the weather setup across the nation, big low pressure system right over Missouri right now and parts of the Mississippi, getting some rain for the northeast as well. So if you have travel plans tomorrow, just know know that this system is likely going to cause some weather delays, especially for folks along the East Coast. So check with your airline before you head out. Otherwise, we're going to have drier air moving in, and that's why we're going to have those cold mornings and those cool afternoons and comfortable afternoons. Very dry tomorrow, Friday and Saturday. You'll need a little extra chapstick. By Sunday, dew points will rise slightly, but before we can see it get too muggy, we're going to have another cold front move through right as we ring in the new year. So as we take a look at that New Year's Eve forecast, here's what you need to know. Sunday, we'll get up to close to 70 degrees on New Year's Eve itself. There might even be a shower east of San Antonio, but not in San Antonio itself. Then a front moves through right as we're ringing in the new year. So if you have plans to set off fireworks, and a lot of people do here this time of year, know that it is going to get breezy in the evening. So please use caution as that front moves through. Then on New Year's Day itself, cooler and breezy, a high only in the 50s for the first day of 2024. Rain not looking great in the next several days. We have a chance for isolated rain Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. But beyond that, you know, it's going to be hard for us to see much rain in the forecast over the next several days. Ursula.
Thank you, Sarah. We'll be right back. As we wrap up 2023, we realize that some words that we've said a lot this year. We recognize we've said the words record, unprecedented, the very first. This was a year where we repeatedly saw things that had never happened before. Emily Schmidt now with how the past 12 months were more than remarkable.
Perhaps the most 2023 way to try to sum up this year is not to try it all and let AI do it for you. After all, Collins Dictionary named AI its word of the year for driving the conversation about the power and potential perils of artificial intelligence, as Senator Richard Blumenthal proved when he used an AI-generated deepfake of his own voice.
Too often, we have seen what happens when technology outpaces regulation.
But even AI couldn't envision all 2023 had in store.
But what the heck is that?
A Chinese spy balloon crossed the country, capturing people's attention, creating political concerns. The military shot it down after a 7-day journey. Extreme weather was a frequent theme. Deadly wildfires in Maui arrived so quickly in August. As the emergency siren warning system stayed silent, people plunged into the ocean seeking safety.
You gotta go!
At least 110 died. Thousands lost their homes in Hawaii's largest ever natural disaster. Unions walked.
Tonight, for the first time in our history, we will strike all three of the big three at once.
United Auto Workers, Kaiser Permanente workers, LA's school district workers, Writers Guild of America workers, and SAG-AFTRA actors all went on the picket lines. In the Middle East, on October 7th, Hamas put what it said was a plan 2 years in the making into action, killing more than 1,200 people in Israel in just the attack's first hours, taking at least 200 hostages, some eventually released, others left in limbo. Israel attacked Hamas in Gaza in return, killing thousands more in an unfolding political and humanitarian crisis. Back in the U.S., mass shooters took lives in the most ordinary places. In Lewiston, Maine, the year's deadliest mass shooting, 18 people died simply eating or bowling. Ohio's Attorney General filed a federal lawsuit against Norfolk Southern after a toxic train derailment in East Palestine. Courtrooms set the scene for their share of politics. New York Republican George Santos pleaded not guilty to 23 charges, including fraud and money laundering. The House expelled him, the 6th congressman, first Republican. New Jersey Democratic Senator Bob Menendez and his wife pleaded not guilty to federal corruption-related charges, accused of accepting hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of bribes. Hunter Biden became the first child of a sitting president charged by the Justice Department. His lawyer has suggested the charges are politically motivated. Former President Trump racked up historic court superlatives all year. The first time a current or former president has faced criminal charges. The first time a former president was charged with crimes in federal court. The first former president with a mugshot. Trump stayed on the campaign trail, and President Biden went to Georgia to honor former First Lady Rosalynn Carter, who died at age 96 after a lifetime of service. Her 99-year-old husband, Jimmy Carter, who has remained in hospice care most of the year, attended as well. Their lifetime together superseding even a term in the White House. That kind of contrast happened all year. A son's book, a king's coronation, the challenges of conquering space, the dangers of exploring the ocean when a Titanic-bound submersible imploded, killing all on board. Even status quo brought change. Kevin McCarthy became the first House Speaker to be removed from office. It took 3 weeks for Republicans to agree on his successor. That's 2023, a year too unbelievable for AI, too unforgettable for real. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
This SA Salutes holiday greeting is brought to you by Rodriguez Trial Law.
Hi, I'm Fidel Rodriguez Jr. with Rodriguez Trial Law. We would like to thank all active and ex-military members for your service and sacrifice. Blessed holidays to all.
All right, cold in the morning at 36 degrees early, but then by 10 we'll quickly warm to already 50 degrees. In the afternoon, it's going to be 62 for the high. We'll have northwest winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Looking ahead, cold mornings Friday and Saturday will be at 34, 60s for the afternoon highs. A front arrives Sunday night as we ring in the new year. Highs to start the new year only in the 50s.
Chilly nights. Thank you so much, Sarah, and thank you for joining us for the news at 6. We'll see you at 10.